Dog Rescue. Can you hear the music? Hey, FLP. Hey, can you hear any music, bud? Hey, what's up, Backwoods? Hey, Purple. Okay, well, we're going to stop that before I get into copyright infringement here. There we go. Hey, Frank. Just wanted to try that. Now I have to get on Spotify, see if they have. Yeah, now check Spotify, see if they have any non-copyrighted music I could use. And the next thing is I have to figure out how to how should I put this? Feed it into the chat, because I think I was just coming from the speakers into the microphone. But yeah, just welcome to the after show. Yeah, see, I like Moraine, and I'm like, hey Jess, for the get together, I'm thinking about the South Shore just because I think it's quieter over there. Not so much going on that north. I've been there when that park's been busy. Okay, I'll do that Backwoods. Yeah, but with the South Shore, it just seems to be quieter. I've been there on the North Shore when the park's like really busy, and it could be like a madhouse over there. South Shore, I've been there when the park's busy, and that South Shore is still dead. Plus, there's a couple, like another place I'd like to have, but there's, as I was telling, Rescue that I wouldn't mind having it over McConnell's, but the only problem with McConnell's is McConnell's has one shelter. That's it. And if somebody else has used it, you're done. Because on this side of the state, McCall's Mills is like my favorite park, but one shelter. Plus, I know a lot of people that use that park that they won't use it all day, but they'll kind of stop and rest at that shelter too. So it's kind of like the only shelter for the park, so it's kind of like a community shelter type of deal. Yeah, because I know I've used it a ton myself. Just kind of walk over, sit down, take a break. Backwoods laying down the law over here. Yeah, plus the other thing with the South Shore is hey Thomas. Clarion could be a very interesting place. We used to go through Clarion to get to our old camp, which is up in Marionville. That's not Marionville's a nice area up there, but unless you're hunting or fishing, there really isn't that much to do up there. Or sightseeing. There's a lot of decent things to go up there sightseeing too. Maybe I'll get the free beer. Naked woman, you're on your own, man. Yeah, Clarion. We used to go up 66, kind of skirt right past Clarion. It's like, do you want to stop there? I'm like, maybe the Pizza Hut, and that's about it. Which I don't even think the Pizza Hut's. I think there's like a little pizza store there now, but it's not the Pizza Hut anymore. On the corner of 66 and 322. That's about the only thing I liked about Clarion. Other than that, you just kept on sailing through and keep on going up 66 north. Now, Cook's Forest is a nice park. I had just been years since I've been there. Yeah, pretty much. I got more excited going to the store down there at the 6679. I mean 6680 interchange. There's a little Sitco station there that has all kinds of stuff in it. Oh, that's right. Hey, what's up, Nina? I Everybody's talking about these women. I have no idea. I have no idea where we're talking to the guy who's been single for 20 years. So I have no idea where the women are at, and I can prove it. I've been single for 20 years. Hmm. Rusky, here's an idea for you. There's a Motel 6 down in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. Don't put in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Put in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, which is right off. That Motel 6 is right off the turnpike by 79. So that'd be a place to look. And I think their room rates are something like $56 a night, or maybe even less than that, depending on what you get. Exactly, backwoods. Now, Rescue, would you be coming here across 80 or across the turnpike? Oh yeah, I forgot. Isn't there a Motel 6 there right off of 422 by the sheets there? Oh yeah, 20 minutes if not less. Well, if you drive like me, it'd be like less, but okay. Cool. Oh, I'm kind of liking the single thing though. So it's just like, okay, cool. The one in Mars is probably, well, Cranberry Township is part of Mars, so that's probably that one there. Actually, it's not too bad, FLP. I thought it'd be longer than that for you. Like FLP, do you know where Ricketts Glen's at? Ricketts Glen State Park in PA. That takes me about 5.5 hours to get to it. Oh, not at all. And actually, Slip Rock has a couple nice places to eat too. Okay, Ricketts Glen's over by Wilkes Barre in Pennsylvania. Probably about 10-15 miles off New York state line. Oh, it's a beautiful area. And at the in the park, there's like 24 waterfalls. On the other side of the mountain is big game lands. There's about another 18 waterfalls over there. So if you like photographing, if you like photographing waterfalls or like looking at waterfalls, it's like paradise. There's like you can't go anywhere on that mountain and not trip over a waterfall someplace. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, that was a great show, Finger Licks Prepper. Awesome show. I have to go back and watch about the last 15-20 minutes of it though, because the, the dog was acting funny. I had to give food to the dog, and somebody started talking to me, so I have to catch like the last 15-20 minutes. But everything I heard was just I was like blown away. That's why I wasn't really talking that much. Maybe crack a joke every now and again, but I wasn't talking much because I wanted to listen to what this guy had to say. And I'd be more than happy to see Ron come back. I mean, he knows his stuff. That and exactly Backwoods. That's exactly how I feel about it. And thank you to Backwoods and Nina. I think Purple puts them up too. The links to his website and everything. I bookmarked his website so I could go back to it. Now, one thing interesting today though is yes, it was. Yeah, I'm kind of working on a subject for my Tuesday deal, and I think I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of some driving, just some basic driving stuff. And this doesn't really have to be like an SHTF thing, but something to think about. If SHTF happens, and if it doesn't happen, these are things you could practice. So when it does happen, you'll know what to do. And this is something I have a lot of experience in. Was I have a driving job, and I've been doing delivery work of some sort or another for about the last 24 years. So you learn a thing or two. See, I'm with Thomas there. This guy's like has a totally different the way he presents stuff has totally different perspective. It's like he actually sat down and exactly backwards just said it the best right there. And mostly that's why I'm starting it. It's not so much SHTF. Oh, I hear you. Back to what Purple said. So like, I'm not so much preparing for SHTF. Is here in PA we're well over. I wouldn't say overdue, but I'm thinking that. Oh, I hear you backwoods. Oh, same. My dad's the same way. I'm the same way. Like I got, they actually have trackers in our trucks, and I got yelled at because I went off course. I'm like, well, the road's closed, so either I go this way or the freight doesn't get off the truck. You got your point. It, yeah, that's like well, getting back to us, it's like here in Pennsylvania, I think other than the flooding we're getting here and getting there, I mean, I think we're due for another major weather event here in the near future. Yeah, see, I can't do that. I can't message through it. It just with what I haul, they keep a tracker on some of the trucks just to make sure that almost say some of them, all the trucks, to make sure nobody goes rogue. What they call rogue, and they forgot that I'm delivering in Pittsburgh, so with my route, I kind of have real latitude over how I want to run it. So they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. You're in Pittsburgh. Just do it however." Because Pittsburgh, if you ever drove down in Pittsburgh, a road that's open today may be closed for 2 months tomorrow. without notice. Yeah, like you're probably here. Yeah, I think Purple was probably here for that. Was that the blizzard of '93? That was just a mess. I almost got fired over that one too. That's kind of funny, but I'm just like, okay, do what you need to do. I can't make it. Yeah, I was working at Denny's on Cranberry at the time. Then, I mean, that blizzard just rolled in overnight because when I went to bed, there was hardly anything on the ground. When I woke up, we had 4 feet of snow in the front yard, and nobody touched the roads. Yes, I didn't even have a snowmobile. I called him up. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to make it. You have to. I'm like, there is 4 foot of snow in my front yard, and it drifted about 8 foot deep on the road. I'm in a nosemobile Cutlass. It ain't happening. In fact, I have to go find my car. Oh, I hear you. I mean, at the time when that happened, let me see, I had the Cutlass. I just turned like 22, 23 years old. And I'm just like, well, you know, if you got to fire me, do what you got to do. Then they called me back like probably about 2 hours later. He goes, we just heard about economy because economy borough, they weren't on strike, but there's nobody that was manning the garage because they didn't think it was going to get too bad. And then when they found out how bad it was, I think I can't remember how they got there. They got somebody actually there to actually start run one of the front loaders to exactly. And that's the whole thing is there's supposed to be somebody up at the garage for um for the road crew for the salt trucks and everything. At least one guy. Well, that one guy ended up going out with the front loader and start clearing road with the front loader because that's the only thing I would move through the snow. Oh, it was a mess down here. I think I was snowed in for like 2 days. Heck, it took us. How long it? Heck, I think it took us almost all day just to dig out the main driveway, and we still had to dig out the barn driveway yet too. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, very interesting. Oh, I hear. Yeah, everybody was purple. Everybody was. Yeah, but ooh, oh, still 3 foot of snow with something that heavy is still no picnic, no picnic at all. Well, something like that you can push it with the bumper, but you can only do so much with it. And then there's times a couple years. Oh, that was more than a couple years ago. It was probably about 8, 9 years ago. I had a 2-wheel drive Ranger. Oh, was that thing fun? I think that's the only. No, I won't say that. But that truck, I got stuck in the yard in the snow. That was funny. Well, see, usually Pennsylvania doesn't get that much Thomas, but we got that overnight, literally overnight. I mean, it was crazy because, like, I actually went to bed. I didn't even see snow at all. I went to bed. It's like maybe about an inch or so on the ground. I wake up in the morning. I'm just like, whoa. Usually, I think at the most we'll have here. I think last year, I think the most we had at any one time was maybe about a foot. No, you couldn't. That's where the garage door comes in really handy because instead of opening up the door into the snow, you can just lift it up and just start shoveling. Oh, I remember that too, Rescue. Now you're lucky if you get a 2 foot tall pile of snow around your driveway that lasts a week. Which there's probably a couple, two, three things that contributed to that. Is I think the angle of the Earth changed. I think the Earth actually rotated south about 5 to 10 degrees. Oh, I know. That kind of disgusts me. I'm just like, wait a second. I had to stand outside and wait for the bus in 20 below zero weather, and it gets below 32 degrees. We get an inch of snow and school's canceled. I'm like, really, really? That is also true. No, I only had to go uphill one way, but it was a steep hill. The question is, did you rebuild after the blizzard of 2018? You stand there in the front yard, we will rebuild. Listen, I know a bunch of people who live in Florida. Actually, Florida got hit. My friend called me up and goes, she's like, should I leave the horses in the barn or put them out? Says, what are you talking about? She's like, we're in Florida, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I have about 5 inches of snow on the roof of my barn, and our barns ain't made for any load bearing on the roof. I was like, I can get them out if I was you. Yeah, I don't know where she's out in Florida. She had, oh, that's what I told her. Is put them out because the last thing you want to do is have that barn come down them on them horses because you'll have a bigger mess than you know what to do with. Or her barn didn't collapse, and as soon as the snow melted, she got her fiance out there, who's a contractor. She's like, put rafters up there like now. Okay, Frank. What's funny is hey Mike, my cousin and her boyfriend moved down to North Carolina, and they got more snow than we did this year. And she moved down there to get away from the snow. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. Oh yeah, all of us up here in PA are really good at playing in snow, especially in snow-covered parking lots. That can get real fun, real fast. Yeah, actually, our snow over in this side of the state, it stuck around for a while. Not too long. It wasn't that bad. It stuck around for a while. It was kind of nice. I remember the one winter we had. This was years ago. We didn't get that. We got a little bit of snow, but it snowed. Then hit like sub-zero temperatures and stayed there for about a month. It's like we never really got like above zero. But what was so cool about that is everything like freeze dried. Like by the time it was over, there was like no snow left, but everything was frozen solid and freeze dried. Wow, that's a lot of snow in one storm. But when everything finally warmed up, since everything around us was like freeze dried, we never got any mud. We went like straight from like frozen to dust, no mud in between. So I'm like, I can deal with this. Oh, I hear you there, Purple. You come up with that, you'll be a billionaire for sure. That and like our driveways, we can't salt either one of our driveways because they'll get in mud because they're both gravel. Now, see what's funny, Rescue, is we knew people over in New Sewickley that had a heated driveway. When he built the house, because their driveway was on such a steep hill, he made a concrete driveway and it had heating elements in it. If it was, they didn't run them all the time, but if it was snowing or when he'd wake up to go to work, he'd turn on the driveway heaters, take the 4-wheel drive and leave and go to work. So by the time his wife woke up and went to leave, the driveway would just be wet. Oh, we'll teach you. We'll teach you, Nina. Actually, with what you got, it'll be real easy. Oh, I love that driveway. I loved. It's just like, oh, we're gonna have to go over and help Denise shovel the driveway to get over there, and it's like dry. It's clear and dry. It's like the first time I went over, I was like, we just had like a snowstorm, and there's like nothing on the driveway. How did you accomplish this? She goes, it's heated. I'm like, okay. I forget how Phil did his because, well, he owned a service station, but it wasn't like he was like a really rich man because he wasn't. He just figured out how to do it himself and just did it. In fact, I think he ran the heating element off a cattle fencer. He figured out how to use a cattle fencer to work like almost basically his drive was like a had like a big defroster system in it, and the cattle fencer ran the whole thing, which was that was interesting because I'm like because he I was like maybe 15 at the time, explained to me how the whole thing worked, and it still was like black magic to me. I'm just like, okay, if you say so. Yeah, see, the thing with ice is you can be the best driver in the world, and ice can still mess you up. You just have to be real careful with it. Actually, with the cattle fencer, it wasn't that bad because he knew cars, and with the cattle fencer, and the way he had it set up is the rebar. It was kind of like a rebar grid he had in it. It would do resistance like a low powered rear defroster for your car. Oh, I hear you. I did the electric, didn't go the whole way, didn't go 180 degrees, but life gets interesting when you're driving a 13,000 pound Isuzu box truck. You hit ice and you start going sideways. Life gets real interesting real fast. See, slush isn't too bad. I can deal with slush. Electric slide in anything is high center is not good because when I got that Isuzu sideways, the first thing I did Yeah, chains ain't that great. But the first thing I did in Isuzu when it started going sideways is I started laying on the gas because the last thing I wanted that truck to do is catch traction. For how sideways that truck was, if I would have caught traction, it would have went over on its side. I'm like, don't get traction. Please don't get traction. Welcome back, Frank. Exactly, Mike. That and delivering in Pittsburgh, in right, that I delivered. See, one place I used to deliver at for my job, I used to go to Cleveland, and I was going to Cleveland in the winter. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to Cleveland in the winter." I'm just like, I'd rather go to Cleveland than Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that much right now. Cleveland's flat; it's easy to get around, and people people in Cleveland know how to drive in the snow. Pittsburgh is anything but flat. People don't know how to drive in the snow, and it ain't that easy to get around. So, yeah, this winter's going to be really interesting for me. Oh, they're not fun at all. And part of my route is in Oakland, going up and down the hills of Oakland. I'm like, at least it's around the hospital, so hopefully they'll have around the hospital sorted real good. I hope. It's Pittsburgh, so it's probably an empty hope, but I hope. Night, Nina. Snow bunnies. When you get up here, we'll teach you how to drive in the snow. Ain't no big deal. And you have a great night, hon. Uh, oh, and another thing, it's my photography thing that I was supposed to do today that got canceled was up in Mercer. I was coming back 79 and it was raining so hard between Grove City and Slippery Rock exit that it was almost like driving in a whiteout with snow. I've only been raining like once or twice, and it still was like, wow. I could barely see past the hood of my Jeep, and it was still light out. So I'm like, okay. I never learned to ice skate either. In fact, the last time I tried to ice skate, I broke my nose. I'm like, I ain't never doing this again. Oh, thank you, Purple. It's just, I mean, I've seen rain like that before, but I mean, we're down about 30 miles an hour, and I was like, wow. Oh, there's a little bug flying around, and it's like if you watch my hand, you see how my hand kind of streams a little bit. The smaller it is. Hey, Cheryl. The smaller the thing is, the more it'll stream. Oh, there you go, rescue. In fact, since I didn't do the photography thing, that means I have no pictures added tomorrow. In fact, I don't think I have anything for tomorrow. Oh, nothing for tomorrow. Oh, you're going out to Atlantic City? Yeah. If you wonder what I actually keep my I have to fill out September and October and everything, but I keep my schedule on a dry erase board. Oh, that's cool. Don't bet it all in one place. See, which is funny. I don't know if Purple Backwoods heard about this, but they're thinking about putting a casino in Chippewa. Yeah, I'm like, do we really need a casino in Chippewa? It wouldn't, to me, make. Oh, I know. Well, I'm thinking if they're going to put a casino, even a mini casino someplace, they should put one in Cranberry. The Cranberry got everything else, and might as well put that there too. Yeah, but I don't gamble anyway. I don't. Everybody's like, you need to go to the casino. I'm like, why? Yeah, you got a good point there too about Backwoods. It's a little bit too close. Well, Chippewa isn't really that much further from Pittsburgh either. Oh, I got you. Is the meet and greet is at Moraine State Park in Butler County, Pennsylvania. That's all the further I got. Tomorrow, since I got nothing going on, tomorrow I think I'm going to take a ride up to Moraine and check out the South Shore, see which one of those shelters I like the best over there, and go from there. A little bit of Chinese sake. Ooh, and this is only like a 1 day deal, so this kind of more kind of like the way I have it planned is kind of a hangout. It's going to be kind of like just a hangout, shoot the fat, nothing serious. Oh, that's awesome, Rescue. That is absolutely awesome. Oh, we'll do Backwoods. I mean, if worst comes to worst and storming when I get there, I just won't get out of the Jeep. I'm actually, I think, if I remember correctly, when you go to South Shore, you know, like that little plateau that you kind of drive around, the shelter's up on there. I think there's one or two of them where you could actually, you're up on the plateau, but you get a view of the lake. I'm just trying to figure. I'm just trying to remember which ones those are. Well, That's part of the plan there, Purple. Like, you guys see my get home bag video? That's where I did it at. I did it on South Shore Moraine. Yeah, because once you go so far into South Shore, the road goes in one way. You can only go one way, so you kind of go around the low side of that plateau thing. What that is that side of the lake actually used to be a strip mine, and that's the wall of the strip mine there, and it kind of goes around that point, and you kind of drive up the other side. Oh, it does. I need to get. It does show you where they're at. I want to actually see the view that I have from each one of them because there's a lot of shelters there, and some of them have a great view, and some of them not so much. They're all nice shelters. So, but I'm kind of looking for. There's a couple of them there. If I can remember right, there's one. The trees are just right, so it stays shaded most of the day. But where it's sitting at, you can. There's a couple trees in front of you, but you can look through the trees right over to the lake. The human billboard. That's the way to do it, actually. Would that be just a linear inch or the square inch? Yeah, there's a couple other things I may do tomorrow too. Well, 22nd, the swimming area will probably be closed by then, so the park may be quieted down. So I'll go check those out too. There's some there. There's another one. Well, it's just a picnic area, not even a shelter, but it's all tree covered over by Davis Marina on Davis Point. There's like a little dead end road that goes down to it. There's a little dead end road that goes down to it. It's like there's like a little cul-de-sac, and the whole cul-de-sac's surrounded by picnic tables. Well, thank you very much for suggesting it, Purple. I'll take. That's what I may just look into. See, the one thing about the North Shore, though, if I'm looking at it, because if you're not going to be, because that's after Labor Day, so after Labor Day, a lot of stuff in that park's going to close, like the swimming areas, the concession stands, a bunch of things are going to close. But up there, especially close to the swimming area, you got the bike trail you can walk on or ride a bike on or whatever. You got the frisbee golf if you're so inclined, because the frisbee golf you got where the parking lot for the swimming area. The swimming area is kind of like on this side, and then you got the frisbee golf over here on this side. That's one I've always wanted to try. Never tried it, but what else? I think there might be a hiking trail close to there too. I don't have a map on me. I'm trying to go off of memory. Is it? You mean the North Shore? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm all confused now. No, I think the South Shore isn't the South Shore the side that has the ranger station. Then the North Shore has like the bike trails and everything else, and yeah, because it's the one shore is pretty much. Actually, there is a ton more than that rescue. I mean a ton more. See, you're like me, Purple. I'm just like, what's that, north or south? Yeah, there's another part of Moraine that's called Jennings Environmental Center. They're kind of like one big park, but Moraine patrols that as well. And the North Country Trail comes out of Jennings into Moraine, goes the whole length of Moraine, um, out to the road. Then you walk a road section, you end up in McCall's Mills, and goes through like the main part of McCall's Mills over to Hell's Hollow. But actually, that 14.3 hiking trails is closer to probably about 23 to 24, if not maybe even a little bit more than that. And that's before you add in the trails over to Jennings, which are part of that system. Because from Jennings, when I was going to do that 5-day hike, oh, I hear your Finger Lakes prepper. Hey, rest easy. Have a great night, my friend. I'll see you soon, bro. Yeah, because I know once you leave Jennings on a North Country Trail and you're headed toward the Ohio State line, you hike 10 miles and you're still only barely into um into Moraine State Park, and you still have about another 8 miles to go before you're out the other side, and that's just one trail. And the rest of the trails, there's a couple decent trails in there. Uh, I think my favorite trail in Moraine those is the Wygeston Trail. Um, that's another place. That's that's over off the old 422 boat launch off of 528. Um, there is no shoulder over there at all. But if there's a shoulder over there and they're running the oil well, that's kind of neat to watch too. If it's what they call a shackle line oil well, so they have one engine that runs a gearbox that oscillates a turntable and it will operate upwards of about 6 to a dozen um, oil pumps. My great grandfather had a couple setups like that. Now the one they have there is, but they have what they call a rolling power unit, which is the gearbox and turntables one unit. Now my great grandfather, ran his where the gearbox and the turntable were divorced, so it wasn't a complete. It was a custom setup. Hey Frank, but that's neat to watch because they run it off of a an old best an old Bessemer hit and miss engine, which is kind of cool. Well, I think it's cool anyway. I love antique stuff like that. And if you keep going off the trail, um, there's a road that crosses it. Before you get to the intersection of the road, there's an old homestead back there. All the foundations of the homestead are still back there. And that homestead, I think, was there since like late 1700s. I mean, it's been there for a long time. Which, talking about the North Country Trail, I finally, the one thing I never knew where it was in Moraine State Park, and I kind of stumbled across it, just goofing off in the park one day after work. I finally found the Hidden River and the Hidden River Bridge. I was like, so this is where it's at. Boy, am I dumb. But oh, it's see, I didn't know the Hidden River Bridge was right there by the bike rental. I was always looking for it like halfway down that bike path someplace. I'm just like, no, this ain't right. This definitely isn't right. But that's a neat little area down in there. Now, if I ever get my kayak in the water and I get my fishing license, I think there's some just by looking at it, it looks like there'd be some decent bass fishing back in there. Like totally totally well, I won't say totally, but mostly unpressured water. So you could probably throw about anything up back there and catch something. Yeah, there goes that light again, which is a little mosquito. Okay. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'm trying to do all this off of memory. And when you've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes that's kind of hard. But it is what it is. See, the good thing about staying up this late, though, it means I'm not going to wake up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning when I want to sleep in. I'll probably wake up about 6. Yeah, that poltergeist on my end is in the shape of a mosquito. Now you guys see what I mean, because that mosquito kind of went flying by here. You see it trailing. Yeah, I get to sleep in. I'm probably still going to probably wake up sometime between 6. If I wake up at 8, I'll be surprised. But I'm going to try to get up sometime between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. That to me is sleeping in. Which I tell you what, the one rod I was running, I was waking up. I was waking up at about. Why? Thank you, rescue. See, that's what I'm thinking too. Just at least just meet everybody, sit down, have fun. I think we're going to get a couple more people than what yeah than what we think we're going to get. I mean, it's not exactly a trade show, but I think the fellowship, especially with this group, because this is a pretty tight group, so I think the fellowship within the group is gonna grow with this. If you know what I'm trying to say here. Hey, what's up, Tibor? Yeah, at least this isn't a late show. Like after what's did the after show last week? Did you see what I named the after act the late show last week? The late why in the heck am I still awake show? Hey, that's cool. That's absolutely cool. Bring it. And see that works. You got 8 or 10 committed to it already. So hey, how you doing, Riverbend? Like 8 or 10. Um, I'm thinking once I get a couple more details nailed down, like once I actually get the shelter, I get the shelter rented. I think we'll probably get even more than that. I'm not saying we're going to get like 2 dozen people, but I think we'll probably get up about 15, 18 people, maybe a couple more. Wishful thinking, anyway. And man, I hate that light. Makes my face disappear. I feel like John Cena. You can't see me, but and I think with the venue, sounds good to me. Just saying. But I think with the venue at Moraine State Park, which means we're not in like a hotel, so I wouldn't say we're not going to have any guidelines of what we can and can't do. Since it's in the shoulder, it's we can pretty much do what we want, and nobody's going to say anything. Especially that time of year, there's not going to be too many people there anyway. I just know some hotels get a little queasy when you start talking about medical stuff or guns or anything like that. So we could talk about what we want to talk about, do we want to do, and Night, Mickey. So it's kind of like, plus, since it's kind of going to be like in a not so busy state park that time of year, we don't have to worry about other people looking in on us either. So, not like a couple weeks ago. I went in the park a couple weeks ago. Yes, there's motels in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, in Butler, and depending on where you're coming from, actually Grove City ain't that far from there either. Grove City's like what? Two more exits up north on 79. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, you can go three different directions. I know Newcastle has a couple of them. The one that I know of you don't want to stay at. It's a it's not a two rest. I forget what it is. It's not a Motel 6. It's something else that has a number in it, and it's got some characters in it. From Cincinnati. Ooh, exactly. I'm thinking about the same thing because Butler, you're only about 20 minutes down the road. So yeah, depending on how you go backwards, because I know the last time I was through Cincinnati. Well, it took me about 2 hours to get to Cincinnati from Columbus, but I drove into Columbus and hit 71 South and ran 71 South from Columbus here. Well, I 70 to I 79. You're going to run I 70 to I 79 north before you get to Pittsburgh, and run I 79 north. It kind of skirts Pittsburgh and takes you straight up into right on the 420, right on the 422. And once you have 422, you're pretty much there. Thank you, Purple. Yeah, I mean, and it's a big park, but it's a nice park. I do believe you're correct, Backwoods. In fact, yes, that is. I remember the name. I remember the road that goes into it because I we used to show horses over at the Butler County Fairgrounds, and we used to run down, jump off of 79, cut across 488 to run across Pleasant Valley Road to hit 422 instead of going up 79 and trying to drag a 6-horse slant load trailer through that intersection at the end of 422 there. That could get interesting fast. But yeah, I think we're pretty much at the. Oh yeah, yeah. See, once you go off of 488, coming off of 79, it's exit's nice and wide, so you can take a nice wide swing and not get over in the other lane. Then when you hit uh, Pleasant Valley Road, it wasn't a full 90 degrees, more like a 45 degrees, kind of bear off and just keep on going. Then the same thing. The only thing you had to go into the other lane for if you had to take a wide turn is getting on the 422, and that road, Pleasant Valley, is hardly ever busy, so you can just and go. But I think we hit 60 minutes here. I think I'm going to call it the night here myself. And I said I was going to do the after show for BA. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'll probably see some of you guys again tomorrow. But y'all have a great night. Thank you for coming. I love you all. See y'all later.